So, good morning everyone, especially to my classmates and to Ma'am Princess. Today, we will discuss about meeting and interview. So, before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I am Cherry Ann Inunyala. So, let's start with meeting. So, what is meeting? According to my source, meeting is any focused conversation. It has a specific agenda. Especially but not it's not only set up in advance. So, in Tagalog po, a meeting is a conversation. Ito yung pakikipagpalitan ng information sa nakapaloob sa isang meeting. Kagaya na lamang po sa school, di ba? Kapag nagmi-meeting tayo, meron tayong chance na makapagbigay ng information sa time during meeting. Ang meeting din po is merong agenda. Halimbawa, di ba sa school yung sa PTE meeting, doon may agenda tayo na which is halimbawa ang agenda for this meeting is about contribution. So, yun pong agenda, doon po magfo-focus yung meeting na gagawin na yun. So, 'di ba, familiar naman tayo sa meeting kasi na-experience na natin 'yan since elementary hanggang ngayon. So, ang meeting po is nakapagbibigay ng opportunities para makapag-share ng information, makapag-suggest at magkaroon ng proposals at magbigay ng feedback sa isang meeting. Kagaya na halimbawa po is meeting about sa classroom. 'Di ba kapag nagmi-meeting, nagtatanong yung nagpapa-meeting kung meron bang mga suggestions or may feedback ba about doon sa mga pinagmi-meetingan. So, hindi ko na po masyadong ipapaliwanag ang meeting kasi 'di ba, alam naman din natin yun kasi common na yun in present time at dati pa man din ay nangyayari na sa atin yun at mangyayari pa in future. So, we proceed to meeting facilitate. The first one is exchange of information. So, through meeting, we can exchange information. 'Di ba? Sa meeting, may chance tayo na makapagbigay ng information. 'Di ba nagtatanong naman yung nagpapa-meeting kung merong sasabihin o may mabibigay na information. So, the second one is articulation of alternative viewpoints. So, sa meeting, nakapagbibigay ng chance para may labas natin yung sarili nating point of view, 'di ba? Kapag nasa meeting, kung meron kang sasabihin about sa agenda or sa topic na pinagmi-meetingan, pwede mong sabihin kapag sinabi nilang pwede na. So, the third one is deliberation on a specific issues. So, sa meeting, dito naisasabi yung mga issues na kailangan solusyonan. Halimbawa nito is sa organization, 'di ba? Merong kailangang halimbawa issue na kulang sa basurahan. Sa meeting, meron tayong chance para ayun yung maging daan para masolusyonan yung issue na yun. So, next one is removal of misconception, 'di ba? Sa meeting, ito yung way na malinawan tayo maging finalize at matanggal yung mga misconception na hindi dapat yun yung alam. So, the next one is elaboration and clarification of concept and ideas. So, sa elaboration and clarification, dito yung nalilinaw o naayos yung mga concept at saka pwede tayong mag-clarify about sa concept and ideas, 'di ba? Halimbawa sa project, halimbawa sa meeting about sa project, 'di ba? Pwede nating clarify about dun sa project na yun, o halimbawa sa sa contribution, sa contribution. So, the next one is finalization of plans and strategies. So, sa meeting, nafa-finalize natin yung mga plans and strategies, di ba? Halimbawa, may unang pinagmitingan. Meron kayong pinagbotohan na pagtapos ng meeting, hindi siya finalize. So, magpapa-meeting at sa sunod na meeting na yun, doon na malilinaw o mapapinalize yung isang plano or strategies. So, next one is enlistment of support and host of such communication needs. So, essential in a business. So, dito, di ba, halimbawa daw nito is yung sa business. Di ba kapag halimbawa mababankrupt na sila, kailangan nilang mag-meeting kung paano ba yun maiiwasan o maiiwasan yung yun. So, sa meeting, nagkakaroon sila ng communication para malutasan yung issue na yun o yung problema at magkaroon ng support. So, ang last is they facilitate intensive interaction with individuals as well as groups and achieve much more than any written communication. So, through meeting, nagkakaroon ng intensive interaction through people in the meeting. So, 'di ba kapag nasa meeting tayo, meron tayong nakikipag-interact tayo sa mga kasamahan natin at mas nagiging effective yung meeting kapag nangyayari yung interaction kasi mas malalaman natin kung ano ba yung mga reaksyon ng mga kasama natin sa isang meeting, 'di ba? Kagaya na lang sa meeting sa organization. 'Di ba kapag ayaw mo o ayaw ng mga kasama mo, 'di ba? Malalaman mo yung kanilang mga reaksyon at malalaman din ng nagpapa-meeting kung okay ba yung pinag-meetingan o hindi okay yung meeting na nangyayari. So, proceed na tayo sa types of meetings. So, the first one is board meetings. Sa board of meetings, dito yung mga board of directors, board of governors, na sila yung nagmi-meeting, di ba? Nanonood tayo ng mga Korean drama, C-drama, yung mga CEO, sila yung mga director yung nagmi-meeting sa meeting na to, which is yung board of meetings. So, proceed tayo sa committee meeting. So, sa meeting na to is example nito yung sa PTA meeting, 'di ba? Pangmaramihang meeting. Yun po yung sa committee meeting, which is kinikater niya yung mga larger group to engage sa specific issues kagaya na lang sa PTA meeting. So, the next one is senior management meetings. Dito yung mga hindi kasama dito yung mga board of directors. Ang nagmi-meeting lang dito is yung mga manager So, ang nagmi-meeting lang dito sa senior management meeting is yung mga manager. Halimbawa na lang isa marketing manager. Sa isang company, di ba, may mga manager. So, yung mga manager na yon, sila lang yung nagmi-meeting sa meeting na ito. The next one is department meetings. So, 'di ba, familiar naman tayo sa department. Sa meeting na 'to, yung mga nakapaloob lang sa department na 'yon, sila lang yung nagmi-meeting sa meeting na 'to, kagaya na lang sa department natin, which is BSED, 'di ba? Tayo lang ng mga BSED ang nagmi-meeting sa time na 'yon, at yung ibang department iba rin yung meeting nila. Sa department meeting din po, dito po yung nangyayari yung planning, discussion, at saka reporting.
Hello everyone, my name is Gisame Radam. Let's talk about staff meeting. Staff meeting that involves all or most of the staff member of an organization or a department. The purpose of staff meeting is to have information, updates, feedback, or announcement with the staff and to address any issues that or concern that they may have. The next one is team meeting. It's a meeting that involves a small group of people who work together on a specific project, task, or goal. The purpose of a team meeting is to coordinate, collaborate, and communicate with the team members and to monitor the progress and perform of the team. And the last, virtual meeting that take place online using the platform or a tool that allows audio and video communication among the participant. The purpose of a virtual meeting is to conduct a meeting remotely without the need for physical presence or travel. Let's continue the reporting.
I am Rona May Ginavales, and for now I will discuss the types of virtual meeting. So the first one is teleconference. So when we say teleconference, it is also known as a conference call. It is a communication method that allows multiple people to participate in a conversation or meeting remotely. Using telecommunication technology, it is a convenient way to connect people from different locations, saving time and travel expenses. So, for example, business meeting. So, paano nga ba nagagamit doon yung teleconference? So, in business meeting, teleconference are commonly used for business meetings, especially when participants are located in different offices or regions. They allow for real-time discussions, updates, and decision-making without the need of everyone to be physically present. So next, another example. Are you familiar with the team collaboration? So, using teleconference can facilitate collaboration among remote team members. They provide a platform for brainstorming, sharing ideas, and working together on projects, even if team members are scattered across different locations. Okay, next, let's proceed to the video conferencing. So, the video conferencing, it is a technology that allows individuals or groups to hold meetings, discussions, or presentations in real time, regardless of their physical location. It enables participants to see and hear each other through audio and video transmission over the internet. So, here's how video conferencing typically works. So, the first one is participants need a device with a camera, microphone, and internet connection such as computer, smartphone, or tablet. The second one, they use video conferencing software or platforms such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet to initiate or join a video conference. And the last one is participants can share their screens, documents, or presentation with others, making it easier to collaborate and share information during the meeting. Some video conferencing platforms are also offer additional features like chat, messaging, virtual background, and recording options. So next, let's proceed to the online meetings. Are you familiar with the online meetings? Online meetings, it is allow computer users use the internet to create their own private chat room in which they exchange type messages in real time. As with teleconference, networks can make chat session easy. So, yun po yung types ng virtual meetings, and thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharafika Chundusatal, and now I will discuss the stages that needed in conducting a meeting. First, we have a set clear objective. Here in set a clear objective, we need to have a clear objective and purpose to hold our meeting. For example, if we have an objective about something or our main topic, we need to focus there to make our participant understand the meeting and our purpose or our objective of the meeting. Second, we have consider your attendees. Here, and consider your attendees refers to the person or the people or the participant that already hear or listened in your meeting. For example, may list ka ng mga tao na umattend at sa hindi umattend. Iba ang knowledge ng nag-attend at sa hindi umattend. Like for example, sa mga taong umattend sa meeting, they can clearly understand and they already know what is the objective, the topic, or the purpose of your meeting. Why you already discuss it. Compare sa hindi nag-attend. Like for example, yung mga taong hindi nag-attend ng meeting, mas mabibigyan mo pa sila ng idea or knowledge. You can discuss to them again the agenda or the topic that you discuss in your meeting that you already discussed. Third is start and end the meeting on time. These steps of conducting the meeting is to make sure that they can listen or they can know that what time they will go in the settings or in the place that your meeting will conducted. Like for example, kapag kayong mga taong alam nila kung anong oras na pupunta o anong oras sila matatapos, mas mabibigyan nila ng time yung meeting na yon, like makakapaglaan sila ng tamang oras. Kapag nag-set ka ng oras na kunwari after lunch break, o they can go after lunch break or they can go early, makakapunta sila ng mas maaga at mas makakapaglaan sila ng oras o makakakinig pa sila ng maayos dahil alam nila yung oras kung kailan na matatapos at kailan ito nagsimula. Next, follow the schedule. Here in follow of the schedule, if we have a topic, we need to focus on there. Like for example, if we already know the topic, the objective, the purpose, or the flow of your meeting, we need to focus there. Dapat hindi na natin masyadong guguluhin yung topic. Like magfo-focus na lang tayo kung ano ba talaga ang topic natin o ano ba ang main purpose ng topic na yun o ng meeting na yun, bakit natin kinandak. Para hindi mas mahirapan na intindihin ng mga listener or ng participant na kung ano ba ang kailangan nilang intindihin about sa meeting na yon. Para hindi rin sila masyadong maboard. Lastly is follow up. Here in follow up is it refers to someone that if you need to give the hard copy to the participant or to the listener so they can review it or they can recap about the meeting or the purpose or the main topic of your meeting, so hindi nila yun makakalimutan. Like for example, sa loob ng meeting, we all know that there is one person or the secretary of the speaker or inside the meeting that already conducted, may tao na isa na maglilista kung ano yung purpose, objectives, or the main topic of the meeting. And yung list na yon is pwede nilang i-distribute o maging guide ng mga tao na umattend at hindi umattend na yung nakalist na yun na mga important details or important things na kailangan about sa meeting na diniscuss natin or diniscuss nyo as a speaker, pwede yun magamit ng mga participant or ng listener mo na para mas maintindihan pa nila lalo kapag meron silang hard copy. And that's all for steps that needed in conducting a meeting. And now I'm done. Thank you so much.
Good day everyone, I am Sunshine Burawis and I will discuss about the role of the chairperson. But first, let's talk about what chairperson is. Chairperson is also called as chairman, chairwoman, or chair. Let's talk about the role of the chairperson. In a formal meeting, it's the chairperson's responsibility to open the meeting agenda, works to keep the meeting focused, engaged, and balanced. Also, the chairperson will outline the purpose of the meeting and remind the members why they are there. In such a meeting, there is a little need to refer to this procedure as this is implicit to establish etiquette. The chair controls the meeting. All remarks are addressed to the chair. Members do not interrupt each other. Members are aimed to reach a consensus. A vote is taken if the consensus is not reached. Majority wins the vote and all members are accept the vote decision. And at the end of the meeting, the chairperson should remind the members for what they have achieved and thank them for their contributions and participation in the meeting. And if they have the second agenda or meeting, the time and the date will be arranged. And this is one common model for successful meetings. Thank you for listening everyone. That's all.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Jessamine A. Mendoza, and the topic of my report is about the role of the members. So, while it is the role of the chairperson to run the meeting, the participation of all members is fundamental and necessary to the success of the meeting. So, in here, we have 11 things the participant should do to have an effective meeting. So, first is undertake any necessary preparation prior to the meeting. So dito, bago tayo mag-participate o bago magsimula ang isang meeting, kailangan nating i-prepare yung mga materials na kinakailangan sa meeting na yon, and we should prepare ourselves mentally and physically. So in case na magkaroon man ng mga emergencies na hindi natin inaasahan, matutugunan natin yun ng kalmado at hindi nagpapanik. So, another thing is, kung may mga questions man yung ibang members patungkol sa meeting, masasagutan natin siya ng maayos at nang naiintindihan nila. So, next is arrive on time. So, kailangan natin dumating sa oras at hindi tayo nalilate sa isang meeting. Kasi kapag nalate tayo sa isang meeting, magkakaroon ng hindi magandang impresyon yung mga ibang members na nagpa-participate dun sa meeting. So, magkakaroon siya ng bad feedback sa'yo and sa mga kasamahan mo. And another thing is sa company mo. So, third is keep an open mind. So, dito, kailangan natin magkaroon ng open mind na mag-welcome tayo ng ibang opinions ng mga participants. So, dito sa part na to, kailangan nating makapag-participate sa kanila. So, hindi lang yung opinion natin yung laging tama. So, connected siya dito sa pang-apat, sa listen to the opinions of others. So, listen to the opinions of others, katulad din siya ng keep an open mind. Para magkaroon ng agreement sa isang meeting, ang dalawang ito ay kailangan natin. So, makipag-interact tayo sa ibang members ng meeting para magkaroon tayo ng agreement and maging maayos yung meeting. So, bago matapos ang isang meeting, magkakaroon tayo ng ideya na hindi lang ideya natin, and mas magiging maganda yung project na kalalabasan na kung lahat kayo nagpa-participate. So, next is participate. So, ito na nga yung binanggit ko kanina. Lahat dapat ng members ng isang meeting is nagpa-participate para magkaroon ng magandang kalalabasan yung meeting. So, next is avoid dominating the proceedings. So, dito sa bandang to, kailangan iwasan natin na tayo lang na tayo yung nagbibigay ng opinions na hindi natin pinapakinggan yung opinions na iba. So, dapat hindi rin natin pinipressure yung mga presenters na kung ano lang yung gusto mo, yun lang yung dapat na i-agree nila. So, sumunod is avoid conflict situation. So, sa isang meeting, kailangan nating iwasan na makipag-away sa ibang participants para magkaroon ng magandang kalalabasan yung meeting. Kasi, sa isang situation, kung magkakaroon ka ng kaaway sa isang meeting, hindi lang kayo yung apektado, pati yung chairperson na nagro-run ng meeting na yon maaapektuhan din, pati yung ibang participants. Kasi sa huli, kung mag-aaway-away kayo, wala kayong matatapos or wala kayong mapag-uusapan na meeting. Halimbawa, sa project, sa isang members, kapag yung isang members may nakaaway siya na isa pang members, lahat kayo apektado. So, sa huli, wala kayong may isip na magandang project and masisira yung meeting ninyo. So, next is avoid side conversation which distract others. So, sa part na to, ang isang members kailangan makinig sa nagpa-present. Kasi, iwasan ng isang members na makipag-usap sa isa pang members habang may nagpa-present sa harap. Bakit? Kasi nga, sa time na to, kailangan lahat ng members, ang attention nila is doon sa nagpa-present. Kasi, kung makikipag-usap sila, hindi nila malalaman kung ano yung pinag-uusapan. And another thing is, maaaring ma-distract yung presenter sa mga taong nag-uusap sa kanyang harapan. So, in this situation, maaaring hindi rin kayo magkakaroon ng pagkakaintindihan sa meeting and may possibility rin na hindi maganda yung kalalabasan nun. So, another thing that the participant should do in a meeting is ask questions to clarify understanding. So, sa meeting, kapag ang isang members ay hindi maintindihan ang pinapresent ng isang presenter, kailangan magtanong siya ng mga questions para maklarify yung mga doubts niya. Halimbawa, sa isang project, sa pondo, may nagbi-business proposal. So, ang isang possibility na tawag dito, so, basta, sa isang example na lang nito sa business plan, yung sa pondo, may possibility na may magtanong kung ano yung exact na pondo para sa isang project. So, ang presenter na yon kailangang i-clarify yung mga tanong para magkaroon ng isang magandang meeting. So, next is note down any action agreed upon. So, sa isang meeting, kailangang isulat natin or isulat ng mga participants, members ng meeting kung ano yung kanilang mga napag-usapan at nag-agree sila lahat. So, next is after the meeting, undertake any agreed action and brief others as appropriate. So, pagkatapos ng meeting, i-brief ulit or i-summary yung mga napag-usapan at na-agree na pag-desisyon ng gawin ng isang project sa isang meeting. So, pagkatapos nun, para mas maklarify pa ng ba ulit, i-summary lahat ng napag-usapan sa isang meeting. So, to ensure the success of a meeting, good preparation is essential. The role of the chairperson is paramount. If these conditions are met, then all participants should leave the meeting feeling a sense of accomplishment, not as if their time has been wasted. So, para ma-ensure na success yung meeting na yon, lahat ng conditions na binigay ko na dapat na gagawin sa isang meeting ay ma-met yon or magawa para pag-alis sa isang meeting, maisip ng mga participants na hindi na sayang yung oras ko sa pag-attend ng meeting na yon. So, that's all, ma'am. Thank you. And the next topic is Do you have any idea about interview? So, yung next reporter pa ang magre-report na.
So we will proceed to our next topic, which is interview. So I know we are familiar with interview. So interview is a conversation where one participant asks question and the other provides answers. So in an interview, there are one interviewer and one interviewee. The interviewer, she or he will be asked a question, and the interviewee is the one who provide answers. So the word interview refers to one-on-one conversation between an interviewer and interviewee. So, diba, nabanggit ko naman is yung interviewee and interviewer. Ito yung one-on-one conversation ng dalawa during interview. So, diba, familiar naman tayo sa interview, which is ginagawa na natin to dati pa, kagaya na lamang sa paggawa ng research, diba? Nagko-conduct tayo ng interview, which is helpful para malaman natin yung side ng ini-interview natin.
Let's talk about the interviewer and the interviewee. Interviewer, it is a person who asking some following question to the interviewee, and interviewee, it is a person who responsible to answer the following question of the interviewer. And now let's talk about the rules of interviewer and interviewee.
So hello guys, so my name is John Michael Balisco and I'm from group 5. So my report for today is conducting an interview. So when it comes in conducting an interview, we have here time, space, opening, orientation, motivation, and closing. So in conducting an interview, we really need a time. So sabi dito, time, when you plan for an interview, give careful to how much time you will need to accomplish your purpose, and let the other person know how much time you expect to take. So in short, help ensure that both the interviewer and interviewee can focus with that interaction. So sabihin mo yung, kumbaga dito, dapat alam ng in-interview mo kung anong oras mo siya i-interviewin para makaset siya ng schedule at kung anong oras ba para walang interruption sa i-interview niyo, walang makakagulo. Ayan po. So ayan, next naman is yung space. So sabi dito, the first consideration here is to arrange a setting that is free of distraction. So in short, dapat kung mag-interview tayo, pipili tayo ng environment na kumbaga tahimik, walang no distraction, and yun nga, ma-ensure mo na meron tayong privacy para sa pag-interview para makapokus kayo sa conducting an interview. Yun lang. So next is opening. Sabi naman dito, a good introduction can shape the entire interview. Research suggests that people from lasting impressions of one another is the first few minutes of a conversation. The first minutes is all important in an interview. 50% of the decision is made within the first 30 to 60 seconds. So, in conducting an interview, we really need opening too. Kasi syempre sa opening dyan talaga, kumbaga dyan sa opening, doon nagsisimula yung brief introduction talaga. And nakahelp dito siya sa positive tone. In-establish dito yung report. Tapos kumbaga minimake mo yung interviewin mo na feel more at ease, kumbaga yung para magiging madali na lang sa kanya yung interview, kasi nga syempre meron kang opening sa kanya, kumbaga mas madali na lang para sa kanya yung interview na yun. maging mas good yung responses nila sa mga tanong mo o yung interview mo nga sa kanya. Lamang po.
Orientation. In this stage of the opening, the interviewer gives the respondent a brief overview of what is to follow. So, bakit mahalaga yung orientation pag nagkakandak ng interview? Kasi para ma-familiarize ng ating mga employee kung ano yung rules ng company at para makilala nila ang isa't isa. Tapos, para ma-explain nila para saan yung interview. Dito sa orientation, sinasabi ng mga employee kung ano yung mga tanong nila para masagot ng may-ari ng company. So next naman po is motivation. Motivation to help employees reflect on their job and experience within their working environment. So dito, kailangan natin i-motivate yung ating mga employee na pumasok sa company. And it allow you to access the skills for the company learning at new things. Coming up, the creative ideas to improve something or make something new. At ang pang-last naman po ay closing. So pag nagkakandak tayo ng interview, syempre may panghuli yung closing. Dito, sa closing, diba, sinasabi na naman nag-i-interview, I am grateful for interviewing you today. Yun yung isa sa mga example nagko-closing na yung interview. Tapos doon na nagpapasalamat yung mga nag-interview.